And I've mentioned, I don't know if I've mentioned it on this channel, but I've said it like a couple of times. Game Theory's video about Sonic, like how, oh, he's not actually breaking the sound barrier and whatnot. Like, technically, in terms of gameplay, no, but you have to understand that, again, you have to work for your speed in that game. And the thing is, what he tried to do was compare Sonic speed in Sonic 1 to Mario's speed in Mario 1. The thing is, Mario had a run button in that game. Sonic doesn't have a run button. He operates on momentum and like physics and whatnot. Mario goes in like flat stages. Mario traverses through flat stages, so it's a lot easier for him to complete his stages at a faster rate because there's not as much obstacles in his way, and Sonic has to worry about loop-de-loops and obstacles like this and whatnot. Like, you're not always going to be speeding through the stage. In Mario 1, I can't say for sure on 3 and World and all those, but in those games, you could keep a hold of the run button until the end of the level, fine, if you're good enough. And like, that's all well and good, but Sonic, you have to try and maintain your speed, and you have to learn a layout for stages where it's best to roll, where the fastest route is, and all that stuff. And like, you can't really compare the two in that way because they're so damn different in terms of play styles. And like, you know, again Sonic runs on, pun not intended, but he runs on momentum and physics. Mario just kind of runs to the end without stopping. Like, he doesn't lose momentum. He doesn't have to worry about hills or anything like that, at least in Mario 1. And lost levels, but that's impossible to speedrun. Well, not impossible, I'm pretty sure it's possible, but that was close. I wouldn't really recommend it, but, you know. Eesh. I just feel it's best when speed, exploration, and platforming are blended together in a perfect mix, because then you get a really well done, well made Sonic game, as we've seen with Colors and Generations and all those. And you know, Lost World was while being a different playstyle, it did keep that like balance. Like, you still had speed as a reward, and you like, these are kind of disorienting. Like, this is why I don't really care for these stages, but you know, speed, exploration, platforming should be perfectly blended together, and there shouldn't be too much of one of them. Well, you can have some stages maybe that have a lot of speed, and then maybe later you have one that's more balanced and stuff like that. But I feel you should balance it out where the levels, except for maybe the first stage. The first stage can be like getting used to the controls and the mechanics and whatnot, teaching the players like how the game works. That's all fine and dandy, but everything after that should be a good balance of the three. I feel like that's when you put those three together perfectly, that's what makes a really good Sonic game, in my opinion. But you know, that's just my opinion. That's my take on things. But you know, I feel that's just the best way to make a Sonic game. You can't like stay too far in one direction. You have to keep it balanced. Otherwise, it will just well, for lack of a better word, it will just become unbalanced and just not fleshed out as well as it could be, I guess. But yeah, I guess I should talk a little bit about the plot in this game. You should all know this plot by now. Basically, an evil scientist named Dr. Robotnik has gone out to capture all the woodland creatures in Sonic's home. Or I think this game is based on, or well, not based on, but it's centered around South Island. I want to say I know this game is based on an island, but I don't know what exactly it is. Like all classic games in general all take place on different islands. Like Sonic 1 takes place, I want to say, on South Island. Sonic 2 takes place on another island. Sonic 3 on Angel Island. CD was on a different planet entirely, and you know, all that stuff. I don't know I have no idea where Sonic 4 Episode 1 and 2 take place, but I don't think Sonic Team really care, or Dimps for that matter, but either way, I don't think they really care whether those games take place, you know. Yeah, but anyways, Sonic has to go save his buddies and basically unroboticize them, maybe? Well, either way, Robotnik has roboticized animals for his robot army, and we have to free them, basically. That's pretty much as far as the story goes. The Chaos Emeralds are kind of part of the plot to some extent, but they aren't really important, so yeah. They're just kind of there for an extra thing. You can get them if you're good enough, but the game doesn't like really do much. It doesn't really like punish you for not getting all the emeralds. Like there's like a little bit at the end where I should say Robotnik in this case, but basically Robotnik like jumps on or juggles the emeralds you didn't get, and basically it does that on the end screen, and that's pretty much all that happens. You know, you miss a little extra thing at the end of the game. You don't get the best ending, but well, it doesn't really matter in the long run. But if you can get it, then awesome. But if you don't, not a huge loss. But yeah, but Sonic 1, it's always been like an important part of the franchise. Like it was the game that started it all, and it's a classic for a reason. It's well designed, it's well built, and it's a really big it's a great start for the series. Like you have a good balance of like speed and platforming, and there's a lot of alternate routes you can take. There's a lot of hidden secrets and whatnot to find, with tons of rings and goodies and whatnot. And it's just a generally good start of the series. There are things that I don't particularly care for, mostly in particular this very level. I've never been a fan of water levels in general, but you know, I don't think anyone likes labyrinths. Well, I'm pretty sure there's some people, but no, I've never met anyone who's enjoyed this stage thoroughly. Like, I don't downright hate water levels, even this one, but I just don't like the change of flow, because the thing is, with water levels, the game expects you to slow down at a considerate pace, so you're not going nearly as fast or as rapid as you would in like any other level in the game. And that's mainly why I don't like water levels, because it's such a huge change of pace in a way that I don't really enjoy. I'm not saying all water levels are bad. Like, there are some that I enjoy, but for the most part, I tend not to enjoy water levels, so there's that. But I have played worse. Like, this is not the worst water level I've ever played. I'm not too sure on what would take that trophy, but you know, this is definitely not the worst I played. But it is definitely the weakest part of the game for me. I can understand though that they wanted a good balance. Like they made it so they made it so you knew that you weren't always going to go fast, but I just generally just have never been a fan of these water stages, as I said, so but yeah, like the layer games improve a lot on the levels. Like Sonic 2, the zones in that game, and Sonic 3 especially, they really expanded upon the actual stage themselves. But as Sonic 1, the game again is a really good starting point for the series, and they established like a lot of things in this game, like how the momentum and all that stuff I explained before, and yeah. No, I do like the stages, the zones in this game. Like the one after this is one of my favorite. It's probably my favorite actually, and they're great stages. Labyrinth Zone has a lot to be desired, but even Labyrinth Zone I still have some fun with. I have some fun with all of these stages. Like I'm not a fan of I'm not too big on the special stages, but that's not a main part of the game. Technically it is to some extent, but it's not it's not mandatory, so it's not really that big of a deal. So, you know. The dreaded drowning theme. It will haunt everyone's nightmares. That never really haunted me as a kid, but I can understand why it would for a lot of people. But hey, people will get paranoid or frightened or whatever by different things, so I won't judge. See my freakouts in Banjo-Kazooie. Like, I'm pretty sure I made some people facepalm in that LP, but hey, we're all different. I wanna try and get all the emeralds, but again, I'm not gonna promise I'll get them all, but we'll see. Make sure you go. Ah! And get it. Alright. Oh yeah, I haven't really talked about it yet, but the music in this game, I believe, is composed by Nakamura-san, I believe. I think that's his name, but he basically made the music for this game and Sonic 2. And basically his main inspiration was get away from the Orbinaut. Die. But yeah, his main inspiration was basically the pictures that he saw. He didn't really see the game in gameplay form, I believe. He pretty much just had pictures to work off, and he didn't base his music off game music. He basically made made it like movie music basically, and I feel that made the soundtrack turn out really nicely. Like the tracks in this game, while it's not my favorite soundtrack in the series by any stretch, it's still a pretty nice soundtrack. Like all the tracks are pretty good in their own way. Like Labyrinth does have a pretty nice track. Green Hill is a classic, and Marble Zone is very fitting, and etc. etc. Like it's all pretty well done, and you know it's a great like start for the series. Like it showed off like what Sonic music had, what style Sonic music would be in. Like Sonic soundtracks go all over the place, so have been going all over the place, but in terms of like the classic games, they have this distinct feeling to them that you don't really see anywhere else. Even in like the other Sonic titles. Like when you go into like the 3D era, they don't really have that classic style anymore. They change up things very drastically when you go to Adventure and all those. Not that it's a bad thing. I love the soundtrack for Adventure and Adventure 2. But the classic games always have this unique feeling to them when it comes to the soundtrack that I don't think can be replicated. It might be able to be replicated, but I feel it just works best for like classic Sonic games. But that's just me. The water levels. This is kind of annoying. Like if you get hit by those spikes, like over there, you're pretty much dead because there are like no invincibility frames on that area. So you pretty much, even if you have a barrier and rings, you're gonna get hit 3 times, like consecutively, and you're just gonna end up dying. So that's fun. Oh, get Grounder, because that's obviously Grounder, right guys? I've always thought it was just Grounder, but you know. Ew. Get the invincibility. But yeah, I don't know why they put the bubble there of all places, because air is right there, and it's almost impossible to get the bubble anyway, so why bother, you know? But whatever. Come on. Get it. Nice. Alright. And more invincibility, don't you like that? Unfortunately, invincibility doesn't make you, it doesn't let you breathe underwater, so you still have to worry about bubbles and air. So, well. Can't really expect too much, because it is a water level after all. But you know. But oh yeah. Oh, sorry. I'm recording this late at night, so sorry if I sound a little bit tired. So there's no reasoning for. Oh, dang! This is easily the one of the hardest parts, but it's easiest to drown there, I feel. But, you I don't think we're gonna get all the emeralds, honestly. I think we've already, like, passed... I think we only have 3 or 4, so... If this is Act 3, then I think we're pretty much screwed on that. Yeah, this is Act 3. Okay. But yeah. Basically, just keep jumping up here, and the water will keep rising constantly. Basically, you just want to go up as fast as you possibly can, and try not to stop too much. But there will be a barrier up here. Here we go. That Eggman will be right here. And there's a bunch of obstacles in our way. And this place is very, very narrow, so it's very easy to get, or to, like, die here, or drown, really, because you only have so much space to maneuver, so it's very easy to get hit by these traps. So, you know, you want to be careful as much as you can. And there are no air bubbles here, so yeah. Come on. Dang it. It's a freaking spear thing. Ugh. The worst part is, once you die, you don't have any rings. You have the barrier there, but other than that, you don't have anything to protect you, really. So, yeah. It's a one-hit wonder! But, yeah. Make sure you... basically just don't be too reckless, but at the same time, be quick. So, I could have dealt with that a lot better, but hey, I'm still alive, so that's all that matters. Come on, almost there. Yes, alright. And you don't actually have to beat Robotnik in that level. He pretty much just runs away, so yeah.